big game theory with the one, the only, the true Yaya Chino Falachi. And today we're going to be talking about the Caraboa Cup. We're going to be breaking down the game. We're going to be talking about some of the comments made by ex-pros. We're going to be giving my reaction, my review, a bit of stats, everything happening all here at the only Yaya, where controversy really meets reasons. But before we jump into all that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. Hit keeping the bell for notifications so we can keep bringing you great content going forward. So let's jump into this. We see Liverpool as the Caraboa Cup champions. Congratulations to the Scousers. My thing is that there's a lot of people out there talking badly about Chelsea's performance and calling them the billion-dollar butlers and all these things. And in my opinion, that's just people just talking because they have a mouth and not because they're actually checking the facts. Because when you look at the statistics, when you look at the game on a whole, Chelsea actually had their foot on on Liverpool's neck for a while. You know what I mean? And then people look at the situation and they say, oh, but how come Chelsea didn't score a goal? Conor Gallagher alone could have had a hat-trick in that game. Then you look at some of the moments with Raheem Sterling and Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer. They all had opportunities to score. Nkunku, everyone had opportunities to score. Then Liverpool built into the game. And then whilst Liverpool is building into the game, of course, they're going to have moments because they are a good team. They are coached by a really good coach. And they have a structure there that's been working for the last 8 to 9 years. Like, people take this duration thing of how long a coach is in a job as a joke. But it actually plays facts when you look at lots of other things. And I have a video coming out where I break down a few things about these managers and why managers are successful with time. So look into that. It's going to be a Kicking It Back exclusive. And we're just going to break down a few things for you to understand. Like, when you hear people talking about, oh, but this manager should be performing with this because he spent this amount of money and this amount of money and this. That's another story for another day. But we're just going to keep on track right now. Liverpool played well, yes, but Chelsea were the better team. But in the extra time, it showed that Liverpool was a club and Chelsea is a team in development. You know, when you hear people talking about, oh, Liverpool beat Chelsea couldn't beat Liverpool's C squad and they were playing all youths, people. Now, this is why sometimes, right, when I come out and I say, y'all are ignorant, right? Y'all think I'm lying. But when I listen to comments and I see comments from people saying these kind of things without accurate statistics and facts, it's so painful because you can tell they don't watch football. And if they do watch football, they watch football for the reasons of them just wanting to continue running with a rhetoric. And that is my problem with a lot of these people. Lots of them on these YouTube pages, these content creators, just like what I'm trying to do too. But I'm just trying to bring you guys facts. Nothing that I just make up in my head or I hear somebody say. I come on here and I say. I cross-check it. I fact-check it. I have my own knowledge. I watch over the football game. Every game I come in here and talk about, I watch over the whole game. There is no game we talk about on Big Bang Theory, Big Game Theory, that we do not watch the whole game and analyze it from all angles. And you know what's also a good thing for people to do is, if you are really love football and you have the time, listen to the post-match of a coach and then go and watch the game again and try to identify the things the coaches say of their teams that they did well and they did bad. And you will actually become more interested in football. I promise you, you'll start to watch the game a lot better. You'll understand the game a lot better, and you'll have a bigger appreciation for the game. And for people who actually play the game, if you actually take this advice and you actually go there and you look at the game this way, lock off the commentary, watch the game yourself without the commentary. That is my first way for you to learn to watch a football game properly. Lock off the commentary. Lock off that them trying to control that psychedelic. Because by them showing you things, by them telling you things, they get to control the rhetoric. So lock it off. Just mute your TV, watch the game, look at your player in your position and not the ball flow. So stop watching the ball sometimes and just look at players in other positions. And then after the game is finished, after you listen to the post match, go and rewatch that game and just do it once. I promise you, to everyone watching this video right now, I just promise you, do it once. And you'll see how different y'all watch football games from now. Now, just saying that to say, I see statistics like, oh, all Chelsea was doing is playing long balls. Chelsea played 83 long balls. I think Liverpool played 69 or 70. Oh, Liverpool had more possession. Liverpool were more possessive base. Actually, yes, Liverpool won a lot more of the balls retained in Chelsea's half because that's how Liverpool play in terms of a high press. But when Liverpool regain possession, they recycle the ball usually, and then they go for a long diag. Liverpool plays lots of long balls. For a team who had 50-something% possession, over 40-something% possession of a club, right, of a team, but they had just 11 fewer long balls than this team, 13 actually, if I'm corrected, long balls after this team. It proves that this team, who is so much possession based, is a long ball team. Statistics don't lie, people. It actually shows you the things you need to be looking for. Then you listen again to people talking about, oh, Liverpool C team and all this and the youngsters or whatever. Chelsea's average lineup age was 23.9 in the starting of the game. Liverpool's was 25.8. Yeah, y'all gonna say, yeah, because Liverpool start all these senior players and do. Okay. Statistics again for the people, the ignorant people. Chelsea's average lineup at the end of the game was 22.6 to Liverpool's 24.1. So for the whole game, Chelsea feel kids. Not because they cost 100 million, 70 million, 80 million, mean that because a club that they previously played for, because they are good talents, top talents, evaluate their asset at a certain price doesn't mean that kids' age change, doesn't mean that kids' quality change, doesn't mean he's a better footballer than a kid who's coming out an academy of a football club. These are the things we should be talking about. But then we talk about, we want to just throw all these shades at these people, especially Gary Neville. No, talking about Gary Neville, right? Let me tell y'all something about Gary Neville. He is a hypocrite. That man, I have no fear to say Gary Neville is the biggest hypocrite, he and Jamie Carragher, in world football as pundits. And I ain't afraid to say that. And somebody share this video and tell them, me, Imran, Yaya, the only one, said this shit. Because he's horrific. Bro, the guy says all these things. So he calls Chelsea billion-dollar butlers and says all these negative things about Chelsea. Then he's on the Super Sunday or Monday Night Football or whatever he's on. I can't remember exactly what show he's on. He then apologized. This is the first time in my life I have ever seen a coach abused, and then there's apologies given to those coaches. I'm not lying. That's not the first time I've seen it. But to certain clubs and certain coaches, they all do that. And I realize the amount of negative things that they have said about Eric Ten Hag, right? And about other managers. And to see how they cozy up to Mauricio Pochettino, giving him an apology on Sky Sports for them criticizing him as a coach. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. It's a joke. And it just shows you that the media wants certain people to be painted a certain way and others to be painted in another way. Because when you look at Gary Neville apologizing to Pochettino saying, oh, yes, maybe he can't get his information across to the players because English isn't his first language. And wasn't Pochettino the coach of Tottenham a couple of years back? So what was he talking to Harry Kane? Because I know Harry Kane is not speaking any other language but English. So what was Pochettino out there telling him? Gibberish. Like that's how they communicate. Like you tell me, somebody explain to me, how did this man communicate to these English players? Eric Dyer. Oh my God. Like stop it, Gary Neville. Stop it, bro. Like give people, stop it. Like you all need to just be honest. Because if you are going to come out and say English isn't Pochettino's first, what Dutch is Ten Hag's first language. English isn't Ten Hag's first language. So why the heavy criticism towards this manager doing the same project, but then you're not giving the other manager the same love? Like, do better, man. Find that middle ground and be better. But anyways, we're jumping back into this game. So we look at Chelsea being the $1 billion bottlers, in which that is just stupid because they got to the final. And once you get to a final, you have beaten teams to get there, which means you deserve to get there. It's not like Chelsea was just placed in the final, like Arsenal, who won nothing. Arsenal won nothing last season. They came second, yet they were the team to be placed in a final for Community Shield. Now, let me ask one question. That makes any sense? The team that comes second in the competition of the Premier League goes to the Community Shield, but there are two other cups, local cups, that are there. So they're basically saying, okay, so the team that went to the final with Man City came third, right? So you're saying Man United shouldn't play the Community Shield. They won the Caraboa Cup. They went to the final of the FA Cup and they were in the top 4. Now, somebody be honest. Somebody be honest to me. Don't you think that's a better criteria to select a team to play in the Community Shield than a team that came second in the league? The team that came second in the league is getting the same as the team that come third and fourth. Champions League football. So that there nullifies the mere fact that they get there. So there should be another criteria for teams to play that final. That's all I'm saying. I ain't being biased. It could be any other team. I'm just saying there's a better criteria they could use in order for teams to win the Community, get to the final of the Community Shield. But yes, because as I'm saying, Arsenal didn't do anything to get there. They just came second in the league. But anyways, so Chelsea beat teams to get here. They got here. They lost the final. This is Pochettino's first season. The trajectory looks good. They might be in 10th, but he has a pool of very young players. You are fielding players, a team averaging under the age of 24 years old, man, with top quality. That means for the next 5 years, with the right manager, bringing in the couple older players, experience and stuff, you're going to be a force to reckon with, man. You're going to be a force to reckon with. And I feel like Mauricio Pochettino, he deserves some respect. You know, he came to Chelsea. He came to try to build his team. He works well with younger players. Yes, I don't think he's the truth. I don't think he's the best manager out there. I think y'all should have actually stayed with Graham Potter, and Chelsea would have been playing a lot better football right now. Todd Bowley is to blame. Because when you look at Liverpool, Liverpool stayed with it. Liverpool stayed with the plan, stayed with the structure, and now look at what you have. Even the academy is playing in the identity of Klopp, and that is one of the biggest things. Like people, as much as we can say Liverpool and people who don't like Liverpool, what we have to commend Klopp for, right, is that from the first team down to the academy, everyone plays the same at a very high intensity. And unlike at Man City, you see at Liverpool, they feel young talents and bring them out. Now, there is a myth because Liverpool don't usually burst a lot of their younger talent. If you look at their trajectory for the last couple of years, only Trent, maybe now you see Harvey and maybe Curtis Jones here and there. But this season has actually proved how important and how much groundwork has gone into Liverpool developing not only the structure of the club, but the structure of their team. And I reckon this is one of the biggest things that I like Jurgen Klopp for. I don't think there is no manager in world football that brings so much passion to the game, but still yet be able to focus and keep his team playing at such a high level. But you can also tell based on the finishes of Liverpool and how the seasons have gone for Jurgen Klopp, you can see even within how the results of Liverpool throughout the years in terms of winning trophies and losing finals and not winning as many trophies as they should for how good the team has been. Like all these things come around, but you can and they've had many inconsistent seasons. Liverpool on the club hasn't been a top team for 8-9 years. Liverpool has dropped from they've won the league, then they've came fifth, then they've came second, then they've not been in the top four. Like right now, Liverpool's playing Europa Conference League. Do you know what place you need to finish to play in the Conference League? I won't even tell you. I'll go Google it yourself. And then you would realize what kind of seasons he's had. They've been very inconsistent. But when they've been consistent, they've been a force and they've won major trophies. But let's not sit down here and act when we talk about other coaches and we say, oh, they're inconsistent and they're inconsistent. If it's one thing we can't say about Arteta, and I'll give him this is, they've always been an upward trajectory towards what he's doing. He finished 8th, he finished 8th, he finished 5th, he finished 2nd. So there's always been upward trajectory for Arteta. I'll give him that. With Klopp, it's up, down, up, down. So there's no level of consistency. And these are the things we need to look at before we start rating managers the greatest ever and things. Because yes, he has had a good squad, and yes, he's built a good team, and yes, they've won major trophies and got into major finals, but we need to also sit down and realize that Liverpool has been very inconsistently consistent under Jurgen Klopp. And there's always respect for Jurgen. You know, like he's probably one of the managers I would love to play under. Like, imagine just having a manager that high. Imagine having a manager just so jovial and charismatic and just, you know, I actually had a manager, a coach like that growing up. Now, big up yourself, George Kajawawana. What an animated coach. I remember one time I watching School League, right? He takes the player off of the field puts a jersey and throws a stone and lets him know this would be better than what he's doing on the pitch. I mean, what a different individual he was. But what a man can win a football. Like, you need somebody to win you a final. It's like the Jose Mourinho auntie. I promise you, George Warner. Great coach, good person. But yes, so just talking about Jurgen, the charismatic part of him, and so it's really nice. But there's also, we have to face the facts of the inconsistency levels. Now, do I think Liverpool will win another trophy for this season? Maybe the Premier League. I can actually see Man City winning the Prem. I can see like an Italian club winning the Champions League. I just don't see anyone else winning the Prem this season. I like, as much I would like another club to win the Prem. I actually really do not want. Like, I just don't think anyone else would win the Premier League. City, that is their league for now. That the Premier League is their league for now. They have found a way to just break down teams in the Premier League. Like, unless somebody can do better, it's gonna be City's league again. Next season, I can see a couple teams winning it, but this season, City just have what it takes to just win it again. Now, maybe they might not be able to enjoy any of those Premier Leagues soon from now, but at the end of the day, they have won them, and I ain't gonna lie, I love watching them play. It is what every coach wants, to just put his team out there and watch them dominate a football game. Just dominate. And I'm not saying that they dominate every game, because this season they've been up and down as well, but most games City dominate, and that is the levels most coaches are trying to get to. But you know why those coaches, why City dominates, why Arsenal dominates, why Liverpool dominates? Because their coaches have been there for over 4 to 5 years. Give your coach time. Give your coach time. Give your coach the right players. Have the right structure around the coach, and then you can judge that coach. Don't judge him before you give him the right tools to do the job, because then you're asking a construction worker, you're asking a plumber, you're asking a doctor, you're asking anybody in the field to work without a hammer, without a syringe, without a stethoscope, that's one. So you can't not give the man the right tools to do the job. And he can't come into the job with his tools, because that's not the job. The job was, I come, you provide tools. Provide me the tools, I do the job. So you can't expect the man to walk with his toolkit when you tell him that you're supplying the tools. Because then you did not hold up your end of the bargain. So yes, people, thank you for checking in again. It's been your boy coming to your live. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page, people. Keep hitting the bell for notifications. Share the page. Show me love. Keep taking care of yourself. And remember, you got one thing to do, and that is to stay sexy, my people.